away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, how y'all doing? I hope you could understand me and hear me well enough with my horse. But we have a really good show tonight with ToledoJess and Dano. Rose might be a little late. Hopefully she'll get here. If not, we miss you, sis. Um, we have Caleb, a friend from down under, the land of drop bears and kangaroos. Ful-O-Gold is joining us tonight. As you can see, I have the Aussie flag and continent in the back. Should be a really good show. I'm looking forward to sharing some of his gold porn pictures with y'all and hearing some good stories from him. No, I can't talk much, and Jesse wants him to talk a lot, so hopefully he'll talk a lot with some great stories. But you know the routine. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with ToledoJess, Gano, the Treasure Vixens, and I. It's.
It
Who?
Definitely needs a tan.
Who is it?
my flesh needs a tan.
Okay.
I don't know. Hello, my flesh needs a tan. I just saw the name and couldn't help
My
it.
flesh needs a tan. That's the
what
man of a million names, Mark Thomas.
Oh,
The Flash
howdy.
does need a tan. He's pretty white. Just call me Cracker White. Um, Baby Girl Mining, good to see you. Man, you've made your name long. And Bill was going to say something, but he retracted. I can only
Yeah, I saw that.
imagine. I can only imagine what our friend Ohio Relic Hunter said, especially if you retracted it.
You want to see the retracted.
Jonathan Friend, what's up? Yeah, everything's well here. Hope it's well with you too.
Yeah. Google.
Yeah.
Google has been waiting for a long time. He said he's getting pumped for tonight's show. Must be a friend of yours, Caleb. Tin Man, good to see you back. Heath,
Dinger,
Aaron,
what's up, Dinger?
Snoker Pirate, JP.
David Villa
Good
in the
evening,
house.
Don G.
Finger.
Dinger's in the house.
Can't forget Mr. Lodax, the world greatest
Mr. Lodak.
moderator.
Did you hit one more pan up? He's in here.
Oh, I
Oh,
see
yeah.
that. I see that. Good evening, Derek. How are you
Otis Ferris.
doing?
What's up, Otis?
Well, I know one thing. It looked like Otis Ferris, our brother Otis Ferris, and our brother Damon had a great time with Braden in the mother load on Mother Yuba. Can't
Yep.
wait to see the other days. I need to watch Damon's viewpoint. Then
I
Mayhem's
think Roddy's in the
viewpoint.
house. Roddy Gold Prospecting. Kane Beeping. What's
Well,
up?
I just found a nice piece of gold out there at Trip with Todd.
Hey, Terry Curry. Yeah.
What's up,
I saw
JP?
that. See, Tin Man. What's up? I've yet to talk to Rose.
Oh, here's a comment you would all have to see. Aaron's being cheeky. We'll be meeting Aaron at Flash Bash. We have 8 on board as it is. 22 spots left. I'm looking for that comment I just read. because I'm way up in the comments going through the names of people, and I wanted to highlight it because you guys get a kick out of it. I know you would. Aaron talks about, I know, but I am alive. Even went fishing yesterday. Very good. Then right after that, he says this. Even did some filming, wink face with tongue. So as Ed would say, it's in editing now. Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of stuff still in editing.
Why was
my goodness.
Heath Dobby's Adventure timed out by Wayne Peterson?
Hey, you guys! Trademark. Someone said hi to David V. I could have swore I heard it. David V.
There's a Lawrence just showed up. Welcome, Lawrence.
I'm getting to the bottom of the list. Grotty Gold Prospecting, some more Aussies in the house. Good to see you guys. Been a while. Terry Curry.
Wayne Peterson, why did you time out Heath?
It's fat fingers. I think we've had a few people do it a few different times.
Well, it's they work on phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to watch, man. It's quick and it can.
Especially Wayne. He likes to poke at that phone of his, don't he?
Well, my phone's here.
The whole night poking at his phone. What's it doing?
Ert just showed up. He's like about spot on tonight.
Almost. He is 7 minutes late. You know.
Oh, there's your brother James, Ed. What's up, James?
You know, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. When that music starts playing, James
can't hear you, Ed. Can everybody?
My mics are totally up, and I'm not gonna yell.
Hey Ed, now I'm getting a lot of static from you right now.
Because I'm yelling and my mic's spiking in the red.
There's a David Majors just showed up. Welcome, David.
David.
Welcome.
I'm gonna have to turn your mic up or your speaker up, James. Sorry. I'm topped off in all of my programs. So it is what it is. Very good. So there's 8, 9, 10, 11 spots taken. So now we're down even more to 19 spots.
Welcome, Michigan Gems.
Howdy.
Hey, Michigan Gems.
Ert says you're buffering, but I think it's Ert.
I think it's Ronald too.
Ert's always buffering.
That's what I was about to say. He's always buffering.
Because I pay extra for a lot of things.
Check this out today.
Mr. Lodak, how's the stream?
Okay, never mind.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Forget it. No big deal. Go ahead.
I just asked Mr. Lodak to see how the stream's doing.
Yeah, but what?
Chasing Gold Alaska or Australia. Welcome. Chasing Gold Australia.
Oh, we didn't say hi to our lurkers either. Hello, our lurkers.
Yeah, there's a few. Steeler Stacker, he informed me tonight he's in quite a bit, but he lurks because he's multitasking and doing other stuff. Insurance. What a crock of.
I feel you, Michigan Gems. I just lost my truck to insurance. They totaled it and took it.
The one that gets hurt the worst out of car accident, the one that's not in fault.
Right, and that was me. I got hit, and they totaled my truck and took it.
And the person that hit you just went about their day. My insurance will take care of it. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay, I got a little ticket. I'll pay the fine. $200, baby.
Rant night.
But you wind up having to pay your deductible. If you're lucky, if you're not lucky, you get your car totaled. And it's still a good drivable car.
Right.
Then they don't give you what you need to get another one to replace it.
Nope.
Even as good a car as what you had.
I had to go back in debt to replace mine.
Yeah, and then you got to go back in debt to replace it. Yes. I've gone through that plenty of times, as we all know. Yeah. The person that gets hit, the person that's not at fault, usually the one that loses out.
Insurance.
Unless you get hit by an honest person that wants to do the right thing and they pay that deductible for you like they're supposed to. But those are far and few between.
It's a me first world. Nobody helps anybody anymore.
Oh, yeah, right.
How many people do you see anymore to hold a door open for somebody or help an older person?
Well, now wait a minute, Dano. That's not. I mean, that's something that has been trained in the last 10, 15 years. People have been trained not to do that because you get in trouble. You open the door for the wrong person, human, and they rant and rave at you. So
I was raised to be courteous to folks.
I agree. I still do it. I don't care.
I still do it. I don't care. Woman, man, fat. I mean, can I say that anymore?
You can say whatever you want. That's how I feel about it.
Whatever they are,
Like I've helped old people load softener salt in their cars. See them over there struggling, go over and help. Everybody's just walking by looking at them like, yeah, idiot. Help them, man. Help them. When I was a kid, if you would have treated an elder like us the way kids talk to us today, you'd got your mouth slapped right out of your face. Nowadays, they say it, walk away. They'll throw stuff at you. They hit you. Kids are so
disrespectful.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though? Nowadays, they don't care. They talk down to everybody. Kids do.
Yeah,
they don't care.
No.
I walk around just spitting on the ground like they hate the joint. They hate where they live or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. When they quit correcting the kids, that's when we start having problems.
Yeah.
The parent no longer can correct their kid. If their kid goes to school and says, well, they whipped me. They're coming to your house telling you can't whip your kid. That's my kid. I don't beat my kids, but every kid does need a little correction every now and then.
Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, they'll just run wild, won't they? Well, we see it, don't we? Yeah.
You have to deal with each kid individually, and what works for each one works for them.
A shocker collar fix them all.
Well, sure,
Shocker
but
collar.
some you don't need a shock. Some you don't need that shock collar. Some you don't. Some you do. Some you need a 2x4 and a shock collar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of them learn the hard way. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at. I mean, they're. Yeah, it's we're getting a little off subject here.
Yes. We didn't go political. Hey, we did not go political.
No, we don't do that.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm on the lookout for a small covered utility trailer. So I almost had one today, but it was way too small. Way too small.
What, for carrying dead bodies or?
No, for hearing one.
If he does, he has some friends that will help bury him.
I'm sure between us we know of plenty of mine shafts to dispose of.
Who are we getting rid of? Wait a minute, I missed something here.
You're the ones who's buying this trailer, aren't you?
You'll have to watch
no,
the replay, Jesse.
Now, I guess I have to watch the replay. Let me go. Let me rewind. I'll get back
I
to you in
heard
a
politicians, but I don't know what you heard.
No, yeah, I don't. I got tents and equipment and stuff, and I really would like to pull it behind a small trailer, and I saw it today.
Right.
For $500. It was pretty cool, but it was too small. Too small. I couldn't have got my 8-banker in there. So,
No, well, that wouldn't have been much help if you.
but I'm on the lookout for one.
You talk yourself out of a pop up.
Yeah. I got a good tent. I got 2 good tents.
Well, I know I do too.
And it just, yeah, especially with the truck I got now. So, yeah. Okay, Ed. Are we done?
I think so.
Let's bring our guest in.
Let the tortures begin. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all creeds and color, our guests all the way from the land down under, we have Caleb of Ful-O-Gold. Now, are you a full for gold, or is that a play on your last name?
Think it's it's a play on my last name, but I think I am a bit of a fool for gold too. I think. Yeah, you mentioned it.
I think we all are to a degree, right, guys?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem. We always like to hear from people from other places. So one of the things, different types of treasure hunting. Are you strictly a gold prospector?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I do a bit of everything, sort of treasure hunting and gold.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but it all starts from a gold pan, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. For me, it started by always looking at rocks.
Yeah.
And then I graduated from rocks to actually marbles, then rocks.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah, you're talking about marbles the other week, weren't you? Yeah. I lost mine, so. Yeah.
Well, I have a pretty good collection of marbles.
Yeah.
Some of them that I lost, I found.
Are they worth anything, marbles these days, or like just?
What was that?
Are they worth anything really, or like is there rare marbles?
Actually, there's quite a bit. There's quite a large community of marble collectors, and some, especially stuff that's pre-World War II, pre-50s. Those marbles can be worth some money. German marbles are worth a lot of money. Native American clay marbles are cool to find, and those you can find digging around. Those are cool to find. But anything's collectible. Trust me, I've collected everything almost. Ruby shaking her head. Yeah. But as far as gold prospecting, like with us, we're primarily gold prospectors, but we metal detect, we do other types of treasure hunting, anything that has to do with being outdoors and treasure hunting, and and just
Well, that's I sort of feel I feel like there's different breeds of prospecting, if you know what I mean. Like,
sure.
Yeah, like there's people who are strictly detectorists, that's all they do, detecting. Or there's, you know, people who only go sluicing or high banking, that's all they do. Or, you know, hard rock mining, like people go climb down old mine shafts and, you know, pick out old ore and crush it. Like, so there's different breeds, isn't there, sort of thing. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, they're all.
You know, I think a lot of that depends on where you're at too, doesn't it? Don't you think that a lot of that would depend on, you know, if you're in an area like us here in Ohio, you know, we're going to find our gold mostly in creeks and stuff from glaciers. And out west, they got places that have low gold where the best way for them would be to, you know, hard rock. And you know, you got, you know, the alluvials. And so, yeah, you know, I think a lot of that has to do with where you're at. I mean, it's probably best. I mean, where you're at and your regulations, I imagine. You know, because you're in Australia, what, you're not allowed to dredge?
Yeah, they, so dredging's illegal. From what I understand, it's been illegal since the 70s. One old bloke told me that how it all became banned was there was a couple of guys that were doing it, you know, full time sort of thing, and this greenie or got caught word of this, and it's like, oh, what's this dredging business about? And she come down to the creek where I was working, and apparently the creek was all decimated from you know, big piles of tailings and stuff. And then it's like, oh no, got to ban that. It's ruining the environment, sort of thing. And and more dredging in Australia. So unless it's I think it's you can do it if you have a mining claim or, you know, that sort of thing, but not under a prospecting license.
So you say you mostly meddling tech, huh? Is that because that's the best for you to be the best thing to do there, where you're at?
Yeah. So
that's what you really like to do.
That's what I like to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose we should probably just start from the start, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
How I got into it. Yeah.
So how did you get started? Let's go this way. How did you get started prospecting?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of, I was looking for a new hobby, basically. I was in my younger days, like I'm 30 years young, and in my younger days, I used to ride my BMX a lot, you know, go to the skate park and fall off my bike and break bones and all that. And and I thought, well, I can't keep doing this, too much wear and tear on my body. And my parents sort of, or my old man mentioned, oh, why don't you try a bit of prospecting? Because we're fortunate enough to live in the gold fields. Like, right. You know, I can walk that way or that way or that way, and I'm running to mine shafts. And I thought, you know, why not? Didn't have a clue about anything. But
that's the way most of us start.
Yeah.
No, I mean, really, most of us start off with, oh man, I want to do that, without a clue. You know, some jump in both feet and drown, and some people stick their toes in and walk away, and you know, it's but nobody knows.
I sort of went down that rabbit hole. It got me
or you go down that rabbit hole and you start buying equipment, you start doing
so I bought equipment. I started off, I bought a gold pan, and it was actually my first gold pan actually was what they call a turbo pan. Have you ever heard of a turbo pan?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Too complicated for me.
I didn't like it myself, Caleb.
Yeah. I mean, I could on paper, I can see how it could be a good thing, like speed up your process time. But I couldn't dedicate myself to it. So I went and got a normal Yeah. Oh, actually, that's what
to
happened.
me, to me, it
Yeah.
seemed like a really complicated operation.
Yeah.
You had just so many different things you had to watch out for and try to do at the same time. And just
Yeah. What does he have to
I'm
like?
not, I'm not that smart.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get paid to think. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, I think what is it?
Give you a shovel.
Yeah. No, I'll get paid to lean on a shovel. I can't use a shovel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of course, in prospecting, if all you do is lean on a shovel, it doesn't pay very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't pay very well at all.
So I think was it the that turbo pan, you gotta put your pay in or your dirt in, go back and forth, left and right, then you gotta go anti-clockwise, and then you gotta go clockwise, and then back and forth again. I was like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. So
Too
anyway,
complicated.
yeah, it's too complicated.
Too
On paper-
complicated. Too many
Yeah.
things you have to remember and try to do at the same time. It's just too complicated.
Yeah. On paper.
You're right.
it's probably
On
not-
paper, when you look at the science of it, it looks like a really good idea. But
Yeah. But
so did this square wheel. But you know how far that went.
You don't see many of them around, do you?
No, you got about one quarter turn. I said, no, this
Yeah,
ain't
that's
working.
it, yeah. So that's where I started, gold pan, and there's a spot sort of half an hour where I live called Creswick, and that's a really popular spot for sluicing, high banking, and that. Lots of gold still being found out of there. Just had big floods go through there too, which resets the whole streams. Washes gold back down. So anyway, I took me turbo pan down there, and there was this old bloke. I mean, he's probably 60 or something, but yeah,
An old
doesn't
bloke,
matter.
about 60.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all young at heart, aren't we? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, he just looks at me. He's like, "Oh, you got a turbo pan, do you? What you need is a." He's like, "Yeah, they're all right, but what you really need is a Garrett's pan." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And he actually showed me how to pan on the spot, which is nice of him. And so that's sort of how it all snowballs. Like, a lot of the stuff I learned from guys I found, out in the bush doing prospecting, and they say, "Oh yeah, this," when I got my first metal detector, they go, "Oh yeah, no, that's not the model. That's real good. Go buy a secondhand model of this mine lab or whatever." So, yeah, like I said, you go down the rabbit hole, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all down that rabbit hole right now. Let me tell you. We're all there.
Yeah, and then it goes from
and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, that's right. Yeah.
What either you got to go in all the way or just totally walk away from it.
Yeah. That seems to be the hobby. Some people are happy to buy a pan for their kid and take their kid out on the weekends, aren't they?
Sure.
And then they find a speck of gold and they're thrilled. They're like, "Oh yeah, that was a good day."
Well, and like you were saying, there's different degrees and types of prospecting. I mean, even in just the one in gold prospecting, you got different degrees of prospectors. You got, like you said, the weekend guy with his kids and goes out to the creek and hangs out and has a good time, gets a couple little plates, and everybody's happy and they're feeling wonderful. And then you got the other guys that go out for a week or two at a time, once a year, do their thing and be happy with the little bit of gold they got, and they're good for another year or maybe 6 months or whatever. And you got the guys that are out all the time. They're trying to build that pile up. They're trying to get their wealth, And then you've got the serious ones, the guys that, that buy their claims and and work and work and work and work and live
Yeah.
for their mine. There's
You
lots of
trying to
degrees.
say something, Ed, or?
What was that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought you were you were coughing.
Yeah,
a
he
bit. I
forgets
thought
he
you
forgets
were
to
saying
mute when he
something.
does that.
I am
Yeah.
muting. I can't mute on your end or it will show
Oh.
it on the
Right.
screen.
Right, he's muting. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Gotcha.
I don't blame it if everyone wants to mute me out talking. So
No,
Come on,
no.
Caleb. We've heard nothing but good things from your good bloke or mate, bloke, whatever. Chasing Gold Australia.
oh
he,
yeah,
he just gave you a killer compliment. I even
yeah.
highlight it. I'll do it again. Let me see. I'll do it in my best horse Aussie accent. I've been out prospecting with Caleb a fair bit. A very knowledgeable bloke.
That
Hey,
sounds exactly.
I'm hoarse, and I'm a Yankee.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. That sort of sounds like Josh. From Chasing
That sounded more British than anything else.
It didn't sound either.
Didn't sound that way.
No.
Didn't sound either. Either way, didn't sound.
Yeah. Hey, but apparently Australians we're convicts from Britain, so you know that's something good, isn't it? You got that part right.
Bill says,
So how long? When did you actually get started prospecting? As how old were you when you started? You
Yeah.
said you
So
you're on
probably-
motorbikes and stuff.
yeah, I've been doing motorbikes, BMX. So probably 2012, I reckon. I picked up my first gold pan.
Yeah.
So what year is it now?
I
2022.
don't know.
I've been doing it for 10 years. Yeah.
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 You've been doing it about 10 years, isn't that funny?
Yeah, about 10 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah?
I've been doing about 10 years. I retired.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed that there's a lot of people. I don't know how many in this chat room. Maybe they can let us know. That started about the same time. There was a big influx of people prospecting. Around
A
10
lot
years.
of it happened
when
around
gold-
when Gold Rush started, you know.
Yeah, and well,
Oh,
gold hit,
yeah. Gold Rush Alaska. Yeah.
right,
back
and
when it
then
was called
and then
Alaska.
gold hit
Yeah,
around
yeah.
18,000 or 1,800.
That too.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going, oh, that sounds like it might pay off,
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, funny you think about it. Yeah, Gold Rush Alaska, as it was called back then, before they went over to North America or whatever, and then they just call it Gold Rush. And anyway, yeah, they had an influence on me on yeah.
Well, then didn't they start doing the gold shows in Australia about the same time, or maybe a little later? I don't know.
It wouldn't have been long after. There might have been one show. But yeah, everyone was yelling out, "Oh, we want more. This is great. We want more shows like
Right.
this." Yeah, we want more we want ones based in Australia sort of thing too. Yeah, everyone was pushing for it. But
So yeah, that's about when I started. Ed's been doing it a lot longer. I think Daniel's been doing it a lot longer, but I think a lot of people in the chat room probably been doing it around 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
In that ballpark area,
I think I'm close to 20 years.
right?
I started off watching The Buzzard on TV, then Gold Fever, and what was it, Prospecting America, that Harry
Good
Mass.
old buzzard, yeah.
I was an armchair prospector long before I hit the creek, that's for sure.
Who was it? And like with me, when I was watching Gold Fever late at night, I caught an episode where they were in Ohio, and that did it. I just said, okay, I don't have to go to Alaska. I don't have to go to
Yeah, you got it in your own backyard.
Yeah. Well, hell, you even got it. You even got to look. You're a half hour away from where your spot, from where you can prospect.
Yeah.
We-
Oh,
we
well,
got 2 hours. We got a 2 hour drive, all three of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, to get to any. Well, beside me here, I got a place 15 minutes away, but that just happened. That's nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's handy living close to the gold fields. I mean, like some of my best finds have been when, you know, I knock off work and I'll go out for a quick half an hour or hour before tea time, you know.
Right.
And yeah, some of those outings have been some of my best times yet, sort of thing. So,
Well,
yeah,
you know, you got the ability to get out more often when you're that close. you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like for us, it has to be an all day thing or even an overnight
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's like
fortunately- I mean, fortunately for us, we have here in Ohio some really nice spots that are good for camping and prospecting. So
yeah.
it helps.
It's great for the kids. You got kids as well, I suppose. Because the kids can just go camping, you know, be happy with the camping side of things, and you know, whereas Dad goes out shoveling rocks through a sluice.
Yep.
Yeah, or maybe, you know, bring the kids over. Oh, look at this bit of gold shiny stuff
Right.
in there. Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll have a go at this metal detector, even though the thing's taller than they are. And then most of the time they're happy to, they're thrilled just about, oh, yeah.
Well, you know, just getting outdoors and being out there doing something is nothing but good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Just-
And that's the thing. It's a hobby, isn't it, for most of us? Like I was saying before, there's different breeds of the prospector. Others are
Right.
trying to do it, build up their pile. Others are just happy for a weekend outing or
Yep.
want to find a spec. But
And it's all good.
it's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now, how about you do any kind of I was gonna say dumpster diving, but yeah, well, that too. bottle dump digging. I mean, do you guys have places like we have here where back in the day they would just throw all their garbage all their down the hill, you know?
I'm not too sure about that actually. I ran into a local guy, one of my neighbours. He's actually a bottle collector. He says, yeah, this town's really good for finding old bottles.
Well, that's where you would that's definitely where you would find
Yeah.
a lot of old bottles would be in well, what we call bottle dumps. You know,
Yeah,
before we became civilized, we used to throw our garbage out down the hill.
yeah. Yeah,
You know.
I find plenty of broken bottles, like the
Yeah, now that we're civilized, we just sell it.
reuse it. Yeah. So, yeah. Look, I'm not too sure about old dumps around here. Pretty sure.
Usually those kinds of places for us are going to be an old homestead, you know, from the 100 years ago before,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know,
Back before there was
electricity,
rubbish
before,
truck,
you know,
rubbish
running water and
pickup.
stuff.
And out in the
You know,
woods,
old homestead areas. That's where you would find. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah.
dump
I
stuff
suppose
down
that'll
the
be.
valley in the woods. Old farm dump is what I would call that.
yep. Old
Yeah.
farm dumps.
Yeah.
I'll bet you got some there somewhere. And those are
Yeah,
some
I
good
reckon.
places. Those
Yeah.
are some good hunting areas.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're
yeah,
into bottle digging and maybe even old relics, because you can find some stuff that they may have thrown away that today would be a priceless antique.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but you
actually,
never
funny
know.
that.
I mean, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, my parents, they bought a house. Well, where I grew up, their house was an old miner's cottage, and it's been built on like 4 or 5 times. And back where the old woodshed was, I had an excavator in there cleaning it out, you know, scraping the floor out. And some of the relics that we found, like old axe heads, heaps of horseshoes. And then we pulled up one of those, an old clothing iron. And what happened, it had the, it was like a cast iron, but there was a lid, and you put hot coals in the iron and shut the lid, and that's how they heated up their iron to iron
Oh yeah, right.
to iron your suit pants or whatever. Like, yeah, just dug that up out of the backyard, you know, like, yeah, like stuff to you know, to those guys living in there 100 years ago would mean nothing, you know, but
Right.
yeah.
Duke in the house. He said he heard bottle digging. Yes. And here, let me respond to GoPro. Yes, every civilization had to get rid of their trash somewhere. I know.
Actually,
Now,
a
see,
lot of
we're so civilized. We're so civilized now. We sell it to China. Oh, we could sell in China, or they quit buying.
yeah.
No, they quit buying. Now we gotta
Actually, a
keep
lot
our
of the,
own
lot of the trash around here got thrown back in the mine shafts.
Yeah, old mine shafts too, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you know, it's frowned upon. It's illegal
Of course.
dumping here.
Of
Yeah.
course, old mine shafts can also produce, you know, things you don't want to find.
Yeah.
Or things that aren't supposed to be found.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, there was a couple of years ago, a person went missing from the city, and actually 15 minutes from where I live is where they found this person disposed of down a mine shaft, out of all places. And yeah, so not good. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical that Rose would give you if she was here. You've heard her hypothetical, right?
Maybe go ahead.
Okay, if you had no restrictions, all the money you needed, all the time you needed, anywhere you wanted to go, where would you go? And what would you do there?
What would I do? As in prospecting related?
Well, yeah, that's
yeah,
where we're
yeah.
going. Yeah.
That's where we're going. Yeah. All right. I'd love to see if money wasn't a problem. Time wasn't
Money's
enough.
not a
If nothing
problem.
was
Time's
not
not a
yeah.
problem. Take your wife and kids,
Yeah.
everything, no problem whatsoever. You're free to do whatever
Yeah.
it is.
You know that I'd love to find a nice bit of outback land that's got gold rushing through gullies. None of this deep lead stuff though. Only, you know, shallow alluvial, and then just come in with a plant, you know, machinery, slowly chip away at it at my own pace. You know, have a nice shack out there. Yeah, that's every person.
Oh, wait a minute, you don't need a check. You got all the money you need. You don't need a check.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Just
guess
something that you would, someplace you'd love to go just to prospect
Just
with no expectations, no worries.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to experience, of course, Alaska.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There's
Go
those,
hang out with Ray Russo.
Yeah, sure. So I'd love to do it just for the experience, you know, like, because if money isn't a problem or whatever, you know, you just go there to experience it, wouldn't you?
Right.
Travel around, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd even want to go over to, what is it, like North America, where the Hoffman boys tried their luck, you know, in diamonds and stuff. Like, just go over there to experience.
That was in Wasn't that in South America?
Oh, South America. Yeah. South
yeah,
Africa.
that was
I forget what country right offhand, but yeah, South America.
Yeah. I'd love to just visit each gold field and just spend a few years there, experience it, talk to the locals, make some friends, bring Jesse and Ed and Dan with me.
There you go.
absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully I won't get sick of them. If I do, I'll leave them there.
you can teach us how to use our mind labs better.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, jumping back, actually, I didn't find my first nugget until, so I went from gold panning, then I upgraded. I got a little river sluice that was made, that I bought off of a guy who made it out of a stolen stop sign and just bent it up, and and then finally upgraded to I ran into a guy out in the field. He was running gold hog stuff, and so I got onto that, and I'm like, this guy seems to know his stuff. So anyway, and I did, so then I did that for a while. Then I got into gold metal detecting, and so I got me a mine lab. Again, not knowing what I wish I had. I got a Xterra 705, which is a coin hunting machine, like relic hunting machine, more than a gold machine. It can find gold, but if there was gold there to find,
Right. And if I was big enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then I thought that's when I was learning things through people I've met. I was learning more about metal detecting as a hobby. Like metal detectors have been around for 30, 40 years now.
Longer than that.
Yeah. For gold nuggets, like in Australia, I mean.
Metal detectors have been around for a long time. They used to use them in the war for mine detecting what they were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But for prospecting, they've been around for decades.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those, a lot of the, let's say, easy gold has been dug up now. So then I thought, would have been nice, but because the Mine Lab SDC 2300 come out, and they were all raving on about how it picks up the finest of fine gold, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy that and focus on the small gold. And of course I lashed out, sold my old machines. Had an Xterra 705. I bought a secondhand SD 2000, had it modded by a guy over in Perth, Western Australia, which I'm not too sure if he's still kicking now, actually. But anyway, I sold that. Actually, sold that to a guy in America, believe it or not. He found it on eBay and I shipped it over there to him. So anyway, and that's how I got me, SDC 2300. And I just started hitting the Mullikeeks, man. Didn't take me long, probably a couple of outings. Just, you go slow and steady, getting a lot of lead, like birdshot lead. And then I dug up this other target and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like a bullet. No, at this point, I never knew what a gold nugget really looked like out of the ground either. So I'm like, had a bit of white dust on it. And I'm like, it was only tiny, like probably 0.1 of a gram. And I'm like, that's a funny looking bullet. And I'm like, you sort of put it in your mouth or whatever and get lead poisoning or mercury poison or something. Which is probably why I'm a bit, slower these days. And I'm like, no, that's yellow. I think that's gold. That's my first gold nugget.
That kind of sucks when you don't know for sure.
Yeah. And so that's how I after that, I'm like, that was a good feeling, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm like, I finally, you know, that feeling of being successful, you know, like, and you know, you're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, especially considering you were out by yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've
Yeah,
mainly, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was lucky. I had someone with me showing me, what to do. And we went out to California, hanging out with Two Toes. We learned a lot. I know I did. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was really exciting. And that's the other thing about going places. You get to meet a lot of people that are really cool. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
yeah.
nah,
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't have met you guys if I wasn't into the YouTube thing. Like,
Right.
yeah.
So how long you been doing YouTube?
Sorry.
How long you been doing YouTube?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's another story too, isn't it? Yeah. Look, I wasn't really not too sure why I got into YouTube. I guess it was. I mean, I made a few of me, you know, bike riding videos, and I threw up there on YouTube, and I thought, you know, well, I saw other people doing it, and I'm like, oh well, why not make a few of my own things, and just for giggles, you know, like, and yeah, I just started had my old iPhone 4S, you know, oh well, huge megapixel camera on that thing. But yeah, just get out there and have some fun and show people what I find. And I mainly made my own YouTube channels because I was looking for help from the community, like people outside.
Right. Here, this is what
yeah.
I'm looking at. You know,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
videos where people have come on and said, "This is what I'm looking at. Where do I dig? What am I looking for?" You know?
Yeah. And so, like me, not really knowing too much, that was my way of reaching out to other prospectors. You know, like I think I got one video on my channel about, is this how I got my hide bank? Have I got my hide banker set up properly? I was looking for feedback, sort of thing. Yeah. So then, eventually, I thought, you know, I got a bit more confidence in myself, and I realised there was people around me who still didn't know the basics. You know what I mean? Like to metal detecting and stuff. So then I realised, well, why not make videos to help other people? You know, because like I've been in their shoes before to these newbies, or I don't like to call them newbies. That sort of sounds like an insult, doesn't it? Like, yeah. But just to make videos to help other people who don't know as much, and then because I know what it feels like to be on your own.
Right. Well, that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why. That's one of the pieces of advice I try to give people. Look, if you're just starting off, find a club to join. Join, at least for a year, learn some stuff, and then go on your own. But at least get some, because and it seems like it's like this everywhere. We're generally like to help people. So that's really cool. Let me real quick here. I told you before the show that we like to include our chat room here, and I want to say hi to some new people that just come in, like Brewers Prospecting, Randy, Scotty, Tony, what's up?
And let me recognize She Digs.
Right on, new member of the Flash Band.
Who else did I see?
She Digs.
Yes. She digs, everybody digs.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that was it.
Brewers Prospecting.
Yes, sir.
Ringo and Star. Hope you don't mind me calling out people.
No, not at all. It's your show too tonight, Caleb.
Oh, I'm taking over.
Yeah, no, it's your show.
This isn't your channel anymore, Ed. This is mine.
Welcome to Caleb's Flash in Your Pan.
Yeah. Ringo and Czar, what's up?
tonight's
Michael
show is
Busy
special.
Bee,
We're giving away
detectives.
Ed's
Yeah, a
gold.
bunch of new people come in.
Giving away Ed's gold.
Yeah, that's
Can I be in that giveaway?
it. Oh, sure.
Ah,
Yeah.
speaking of gold, the chat room's kind of clamoring a little bit for some
Yeah,
gold porn.
yeah.
Wondering if you got any gold porn to show.
Oh, yeah.
You guys want to see some gold porn? Is
I
that what I hear?
sure do. Yeah. How do we want to do this? So, did you have some photos there, Ed, or?
Yeah.
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 You able to put it up, or? Yeah. 'Cause I think we tried using
here, I'll put it up, and you'll see it a little late, unfortunately, but when you see it up, they'll have a couple seconds looking at it.
Yeah.
And then well, I'm bringing up first your come on, Ed.
Come on,
Yeah,
Ed. You
The
can
picture
do it.
of you with your detector.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I can frame it right. What's up in Dodge? Working on it. Talk
That's
amongst
okay.
yourself.
So have you had anybody come up to you and say, "Hey, I know who you are. I watch your videos."
Yeah, actually, yeah, there was one experience. It was totally random. I was out detecting, took a road trip about an hour north to a place called Castlemaine, where very rich gold field. And I was about done for the day, and I saw this guy. He was in a car, like just a normal 4-door car, like not a 4-drive, and he had went to turn around on this dirt road, and he beached himself. Like he's like, wave me now, and he's like, oh, can you take me out, like just to get him going? I'm like, yeah, no worries, because we're going to 4-drive with a winch and all that. And so we did that. I towed him out, and he goes, I know you. I think I've seen you on YouTube. What's your name? Ful-O-Gold? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you do the metal detecting. He's like, yeah, I watch your videos all the time.
I'm
So
your
I'm like,
favorite fan. I'm your number one fan.
yeah, no, he wasn't quite that.
Where do you live? Can I follow you home? No.
Yeah.
You're my new best friend.
Yeah,
we laugh about that. It is funny, but at the same time, you really have to be careful out there.
Yeah. Well, I think we were talking about this last time. That God does strange things to people.
Well, you live in Australia, so just about any animal you run into is gonna be trying to kill you.
Gonna
so.
kill you.
I guess there's no point asking this question.
Well, let's get on to some pictures. Sound good?
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All
hold that
right.
thought, Jess. Yeah.
Here you are with your baby.
My baby. Yeah.
You should be seeing it real
It takes us
soon.
a few seconds to see it. Yeah.
I can't see it up yet. Will I see that on my screen? Or? Oh, it's on the YouTube screen. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. I can see it.
Well, you wait for it on the Zoom screen.
There's me with me baby. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the good old SDC 2300.
Did you find that with it?
Yeah. Yep.
Man,
Bang! Look at that one. Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah,
like
that's a nice metal detector, but oh man, look at that.
That's a.
Why aren't you getting them?
Because they don't have those in Ohio.
You better go get some.
That's a
I'd love to
30,
buy something like
38
that.
grammer, I think.
How big?
38 grammer. So
Ooh.
That's
over
a
an hour.
38 grand.
Nice.
Man.
There's a nice payday right there, huh?
Yeah,
I paid for that machine.
yeah.
He's
You're not
on his
wrong.
way.
I paid for that machine.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Paid for it,
bought you
yeah.
another one.
Boy, yeah. Buy another one and start renting it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesse's on his way.
He's on your. Oh, really? Yeah. All
Right
yeah.
after the show, he's on his way.
Is he?
Down
All
the
right,
phone,
I'll
booking
pick him
my
up from
flight.
the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can crash at
Well,
my place.
I have the Gold Monster. And
No, they're not a bad machine actually either.
yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, it was really cool that I was able to go out and meet Two Toes, and he's very knowledgeable in that. Showed us all, lots of stuff. Bennett and him, between Bennett and Two Toes, we actually got probably a year's worth of just going out and swinging on our own. Learned a year's worth of experience just from those two guys for that weekend we were there,
Yep.
or the week we were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I learned a lot, and
That
it was,
day we all
I
went.
found, yeah,
That day we
found
went,
three
we got
nuggets.
an ounce of gold combined that day.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
So we
so
got another picture up there now. Cornflake gold.
nice.
Yeah, that's but actually one of my most popular YouTube videos is one of my crushing. So I had a thing, right? I went like a year of, I got a favorite spot out here. It's just packed full of specimens, like quartz and with gold through it. And every specimen I'd throw it in a bucket after I'd got home. And so after about a year of collecting this bucket full of specimens, I thought, I'm going to go finally crush all these up and see what I got. Yeah, that seems to be one of my best YouTube videos actually, with the most views. I think I had like 60,000 views or something on that, which is crazy. I don't know why people want to watch me do whatever, but
Well,
yeah. So anyway,
enjoy it.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
And that looks like it's the same pan as the one that said cornflakes, right?
Yeah, that's me little black pan, that one, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, panning crushed ore is a lot easier than panning say black sand, like out of a creek, I found.
Right.
Yeah, but that could be different from different gold. That could vary too, couldn't it? I suppose you can get a lot of different minerals that are hard to separate. Yeah. Oh, you got that gold ring up there too. Yeah. So that was a story to that one too. So I actually didn't get into relic hunting until later on, when the Equinox 800 came out. Actually, that's when I started hitting the coins, and that was my first gold ring. So I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah, very cool.
I don't know if you can see that, Jess, but yeah, I think it's a diamond on it. Yeah,
Looks like some
So,
silver.
yeah, is that silver or is that white gold on there?
I think it's white gold.
Is it?
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
now? Here we have we grade our jewelry and stuff in carats. What does the 750 stand for? And whatever.
Yeah, so they I think that's how you tell what the grade of the ring is, like the silver content or the gold content. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I know for silver, if it's 910, I think it is, that's 8 carat silver or gold or something like that. But yeah, those numbers.
Here we got our silver is either silver or 925.
Nice gold bar.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice
Just shift that over to 1361.
Yeah, Yeah,
Gold
that,
bar.
I'll tell you what, that's about a $250,000 gold bar. That
And
was
where'd you
about
find that?
where'd I find it?
Yeah.
At Sovereign Hill.
Oh.
So, so yeah, there's a good story to that.
Yeah.
So for those you foreigners, no, I shouldn't say that. You,
Yankees, you can say it, Yankees.
Yankees, yeah, or, yeah. No, well, you tourists, we'll say tourists. That's probably better.
There you go. Tourist.
Yeah, tourists. Yeah, not terrorists, tourists.
Them
Yeah.
too.
Them too. So yeah, there's a huge in Ballarat. There's a place called Sovereign Hill. It's basically a tourist attraction. It's all been kept
Oh,
to the
Yeah, we call them tourist
1850s.
traps.
Yeah, tourist traps. Yeah, yeah, and they do a live gold smelting and pouring there, and when I went there was a big crowd of about 30, and they said, we're only going to pick 3 people to come and have a hold of the gold bar. Like, and I'm thinking, oh, that'll be great, but I'll never get picked for that. Like, I'll never get picked for something, like for anything, like no one wanted to pick me for being on their team in sports class. So when are they going to start now? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I got picked, and I'll tell you what, that
That's
the
heavy,
size, the weight is very deceiving,
yeah.
right? Like it's
It
only, they put it in my hand, and my hand just like dropped, like boom, like whoa, that's like for the size, you're not expecting it to have that weight, like.
Well, right. Yeah. You get your eyes see something small, so you don't expect the kind of weight that. I mean, even
I was expecting it
even
to be like
that how many grams you say that one nugget was?
38.
38 gram nugget. Even that, you drop it in your hand, and it just feels so much heavier than anything else that size. I mean, it's just obvious. Boom.
Yeah.
I like that feel too.
I like the sound of it when you drop it in your pan. Just
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. That was nice. Yeah. Yeah. So you got
Ful-O-Gold.
yeah.
A cup of gold. Nice.
Yeah. So that's about an ounce of gold in fines.
Yeah. Did you see Jared's remark a little while ago? He says, "You guys get on me about melting coins. He's crushing specimens."
Yeah, so that was my last parcel of gold I actually sold. That was about an ounce of gold as well. Yeah.
So you've been doing pretty well for yourself as far as finding gold. Huh? That's cool.
Yeah, I suppose I have. Yeah. Yeah. If you, I don't know, can you scroll down a bit, Ed, to some of those larger nuggies? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's obviously a $1 Australian coin, just for reference. I'm guessing it's about a $1 coin's about
Those are nice.
half an inch, like 3/4 of an inch. What's that over? Yeah, what's 25 mil in imperial?
What's what?
What's 25 millimeters in imperial? About
I think
20.
That's about the size of a
It's about a half
quarter.
inch. It's about a half inch.
about a half.
No.
Half inch.
No.
A half inch.
No. Here, I'll tell you real quick.
It's about the same size as our quarter, 25 millimeters. Well, our quarter's 24 millimeters.
Yeah. So that's just to give the viewers a reference to the size of them, Like, I wish I hung on to some of those large nuggets, but see if I can turn it into jewelry, But anyway, when you're strapped for cash, you got to do what you got to do, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The gold price is pretty high then too, so Yeah. No, it's pretty good. There we got another. There we go. That could be your new thumbnail for your YouTube channel there. Here's that flashing your hand.
Oh yeah, but that's your flash, not mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
25 mil, about the size of a dental ball.
No, balls are bigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. That's pretty small for a dental ball.
They're about golf ball size usually. I kind of make them bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's another weighing it up.
I can't spin it, so.
Yeah, just give everyone a moment to flip the monitors upside down. Yeah.
Here, I could take the scale out of there, so.
Yeah. 27.21 grams or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 27.21.
Yeah. Mixed gold, like fine and
What's up,
and
Indiana Tones?
How long did that take you to find? That a season? A night, a day out?
I wish it would be a day out. I tell you, that'd be a great day if that was. Yeah, I'd probably say about a year and a half of just casually, you spend a few afternoons here and there after work, or do a day trip here and there, and because I've got a life outside of prospecting too, like like the rest of us have got a wife and bills to pay and
Right.
friends up with, and yeah, so probably about if I hit it harder, like if I upscaled my efforts a bit, yeah. Yeah, so that actually wasn't.
Are you still doing relic hunting too?
Look, I haven't touched the relics for a fair while.
Yeah. Is there anything in the relic field that you'd love to find?
I
mean, besides, like pull tabs and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get my full collection of pull tabs. Yeah. I think the golden the sovereign. I don't know if you ever heard of them, or the half sovereigns. They're pretty much the best relic you can find in Australia. Other than that, I'm pretty much into what they call pre-decimal coins. So before the currency switched over to dollars and cents. And when was it? The 50s, I think. They changed currency in Australia. So I love any pre-decimal coins, like your pennies, your shillings. I've got some of them here, but I don't think the camera would pick it up. Yeah, like a threepence, a sixpence. Any of those old coins I love, even though they're probably worth. I mean, coins aren't really worth anything unless they haven't been circulated, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be worth like $5 in.
It depends. There's some rare coins that you could get a good sized chunk of change even when it's worn. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's
depends on the date, the mint, the mintage, how many are left known to exist, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, like there's only like 10,000 ever minted, and then there's only 100
out of all
or
those.
whatever.
And out of all those, how many did Jared melt down?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I saw on the on the topic of relics, I'd like to share a story actually of one of my relic outings. I think the Grotty Gold mentioned me to tell you guys a
Right
story about
on,
the
you
time I got
member
the cops
of the
called on me.
Flash Spam.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
pretty
I moved it
that's a
over
cool
to
looking
another
nugget.
screen and had a couple things
Yeah, there you
pop
go.
up.
Yeah. We can go back to that picture later about the
Right,
frog.
right.
Yeah.
Go to your relic story that Alicia brought up.
Yeah. So yeah, just went out there around a local lake. Just try to find some old coins, see what I can find. And I was probably about 30 meters from where I parked my car. So because I like to keep distance, earshot of my car because I don't trust too many people around here. So I was just detecting away, and then I see this cop car sort of pull up next to my car. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. I'm thinking, oh, here I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get, someone's called the cops on me, get kicked out of this place for metal detecting. And he hops out and he walks around my car, and then he hops back in his car, and I'm like, oh, well, I better go over there and talk to him. And so I just casually strolled over there, and like, oh yeah, how you going? And he's like, yeah, good. Is that your car? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And he's like, oh, we've had a phone call to say there was a dead body reported in the back seat of a ute. and my car matched the description, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, I had my work gear, like jumpers and stuff on the back seat anyway. So, but the thing is, my ute's it's got the darkest legal tint you can get on the window. So how someone got that idea, I don't know. Because you can barely see anything from the outside. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, the cop's just like, oh, okay, well, someone makes a complaint, we have to follow it up, and he's like, oh, can I have your license and all that? Do a background check, and like, yeah, all right, and yeah, he goes, I'll wait for him to get my license back, and then he goes, all right, yeah, no, you're free to go. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. So I'm like, that's the first time I've had the cops called on me for metal detecting about there being a dead body.
That's crazy.
yeah, and it's
Good thing
yeah.
Good thing you buried him before you went metal detecting, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Good thing I went out bush. I threw him down a mud the day before. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's another. Yeah. But I've been out. I've had the council called on me. I've had the cops called on me twice. I've had one person come up to me and start abusing me a bit. He's like, what are you doing on me nature strip or whatever? That's all through coin and relic detecting. But I never had a problem out gold detecting because there's no one out there, I suppose. Yeah. So that's
kind of a silly question, wasn't it? What are you doing out here in Mother Nature?
Yeah, so that sort of put a sour taste in my mouth for coin detecting, which is sad, but I think I'm going to get back into it soon, though. Yeah.
Well, good night, Dan G. Or Don G. He's got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So do I, Don.
Hey, work is a swear word, isn't it? It's a 4-letter word.
Yeah, it's a swear word.
Yeah, it's a family show.
Yeah. No, you can't say that word. We got one question here. A higher relic hunter. Not sure if you're still online here or not. You ask, what is the highest point in Australia, and where you live, what is the average depth of bedrock or to bedrock? The highest point is on top of any mountain, I guess. I think the gold fields where I live is, I think it's see where Ballarat is actually in a crater on top of the Great Divide, or just off what they call the Great Divide. So it's about, you probably, don't take your word for it, we're about 1,000 foot from sea level, possibly. But when you talk about bedrock, there's a lot of volcanic action around here too. So, because this is where you get into geography, I suppose, isn't it? Like the gold fields around here, they're you've got about 3 or 4 major geological events, right? So you've got that's how the gold's being displaced. You could have there's volcanic activity that's come up in veins, and then you've had a big flood or whatever. It's shifted and deposited a lot of alluvial on top of that volcanic, and then you can have another volcanic eruption, and then all of a sudden you got 100 feet of was it balsamic rock on top of an ancient riverbed, and then you've got the modern landscape, like just where we're at now, so when you're talking average depth, the average depth to bedrock, you could be standing on bedrock right now, but you could, mine down 100 foot, and you can be on alluvial, and then go through that, and you're on another bedrock. So hope that didn't confuse everyone.
Well, this is what Ohio Relic was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical stuff. So,
Yeah. But Australia is you can, like I said, you can drive, right? So the gold fields where I live, you can drive 5 minutes, over a few hills, and it's totally different gold fields again. Like they've mined it totally different. So there's like deep lead alluvial mines down the road where I live, like huge valley keeps. They've gone down, probably 200 feet, and to an ancient riverbed, like alluvial, and they mined probably over 30,000 ounces in just this gully. It goes down into the main tributary. But then if you drive over the hills, you've got hard rock mining, like old ore veins, and then in the same area again, they're digging out, rounded nuggets as well, so alluvial nuggets. So, it's just, you can't give a blanket answer for everything, can you?
no, you can't. Any of you can't really give a blanket answer on anything that has to do with prospecting.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many variations and variables and whatnots and what bores. You have to play. You're always playing by ear. I mean, what's going to work in this spot may not work 100 feet or 100 meters down the gully.
Clear as mud, David says. So thanks for that. Glad I got the message through.
Clear as mud. Absolutely.
I could be a politician too.
We have, it's like that everywhere. You got spots that are the bedrock is right there on the surface, and spots where it's 100 feet deep, and
Yeah.
spots where it's like right next to each other, you'll have it 50 feet deep and move 5 feet, and you're dropping down another 50 feet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
our
See,
surface is not perfect.
yeah. The creek down the road from me, there actually is no bedrock. It's just all clay and a slate sort of. I suppose slate could be a bedrock, but if you're talking volcanic bedrock, we don't actually have that where I live. But if you go half an hour down the road, then you get all your crevices, all your that's actually one thing I'd love to get into actually is crevicing. But I just don't have creeks with crevices around here. So at least if there is little pockets where they've been smashed to death. Like yeah. So yeah, it's just all, the world's your oyster, I suppose, when it comes to prospecting.
Yeah, that I'll tell you what, the chat room is really impressed with your answer on that question. They're even calling it Kabbalah your way through it.
Okay, well,
It fit.
yeah. Yeah,
I
well,
told you this chat room, man. I told you they're engaged.
It can go awry every now and then.
no, that's good.
Ohio
Yeah.
Relic Hunter wants to know, Caleb, do you have access to your geologic records for your area? Tons of info contained within.
Yeah, sure is actually. Fortunately. So there's lots of maps around here. Yeah, there's also been, there's been a lot of information that's been lost too as regard old mines and that, which is a bit sad. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of geological records as to different layers of the ground, how old they are, and yeah, it's sort of hard to talk about it without looking at it, But what you really want to get onto, you want to get onto the old parish maps, so you can find where all the old townships were and that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't as good as the answer as me last time, was it?
We understood this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm getting a bit horsey too now, Ed. So yeah. Can I answer Mr. Lodak's question?
Sure.
Sure. All right. I'm
Any
going
question you
to
wanna
anyway.
answer,
So,
if you see them, answer them.
yeah. So he asked, have you ever done any opal hunting? Answer is no, but I'd love to.
You're about to
So-
be?
How far is the opal fields from you?
Only about an odd 8,000 kilometers north, I think.
Oh,
Up in Queensland, they do a lot of opal hunting. Yeah, there's not. So Victoria, which is a state I live in, there's not a whole lot of gems, which is kind of sad. There are gems, but only very small and not a whole lot of them. I mean, you get like your black quartz, your garnets. Some areas you find, was it sapphires, I believe? Yeah. Yeah, Victoria doesn't have a great deal. There are spots that have them. Yeah, but not of any opals, I don't think. Yeah. I think the only opal I got was from a gem show the other year. Yeah, it was on the head of a tie clip, actually. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
right on. That's another type of treasure show, or treasure hunting in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'd love to get, is it Georgia? Georgia has gold and gems, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to get up there actually. Yeah. So there's another answer for Rose if she ever shows up. Love to get over to Georgia and do some high banking and then keep the gems that I find too. Because that's what Doc from Gold Hog did a lot, didn't he?
Gold Hog. We've heard of them.
Oh, you heard of them? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. No, we're not gonna touch that subject, are we? Or,
Oh
You know,
no.
you talk about it all you want. Gold Hog's
okay.
fine. Gold Hog does what it does. It does.
Yeah.
It catches
Yeah.
gold just like that's supposed to.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
It has some drawbacks, but what doesn't?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's another topic actually. On the topic of what equipment do you run? I get those questions all the time. Oh, what's the best metal detector? What's the, what goes the deepest? What detector detects the smallest gold? What pan should I get?
Oh yeah, all those.
And yeah.
And it's the same questions you asked when you started off. The exact same questions,
Yeah. And the answer, you can't give a blanket answer because
No, you
it
can't.
depends on what I said before. Depends on what gold field you're in, how much mineralization's in the ground.
Right.
But probably the biggest thing I've found is your mindset, right? Like, you can have an old detector, like, just say, for example, like an SD2000. That machine come out in, the Mine Lab come out in 1990s. That was a great machine. It was the first pulse induction detector for the time. Then it was it reopened the gold fields again. But as opposed to different, the more modern machines now, like the 7000, the 6000 now, people can pick up the SD2000 and say, well, this is an old machine. It's a piece of crap. It's not going to find me gold. But it's like, well, hang on a moment. This machine did find a hell of a lot of gold, for its time. So if you go out in the field with this old machine with the mindset saying that, oh, I've got this old machine, I'm not going to find anything, I'm not going to, waste any time. Well, what do you think's going to happen? You're not going to have a good time,
Right.
Yeah. But as opposed to that, you go out there saying, hey, I've got a gold detector. Like, I'm going to get out there, have a good time. I'm going to use the right techniques. I'm going to go low and slow. I'm going to dig everything. Sure, I might not find any gold, but I'm going to find stuff that other people have missed, even though you got this older machine. So it's, like...
It's the same thing. It's like I say just about every week, almost. Your machine's going to do its job. You just have to learn how to use it. So you got to practice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a saying that you got to spend 1,000 hours on your machine before you master it.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
And you'll still not be done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because all you got to do is go to a different gold field, and then that's what is going out the door, sort of thing.
Right now, everything you've done before and your last gold field, it worked great. Now you come to a new one, you go, well, wait a minute, why am I not? Everybody's finding gold but me. What's going on? You gotta adjust. Adjust.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
But here, the main thing is you got to get out there and do the hunt.
That's right.
It's like when you're, running a sluice, you got to go out there and do the digging.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wait, practice. Learn.
Yeah. There's a saying that old Tony Beats off Gold Rush taught me. It's just gold. He says lessons cost money, good ones cost lots. So sometimes you got to get out there and do the hard yards to get those good lessons, like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like sure,
Wow.
talking to other prospectors, it's a huge help, but
Ohio Relic Hunter says, Caleb, there is also another saying, we spend thousands to find pennies.
yeah, I just saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It really, that's a really bad way to look at it.
Well, no,
I mean, it's hard
yeah,
to
no,
justify a hobby when you're thinking like that.
yeah. No, well, so someone, how do I put this? If someone came to me, right, saying, "Oh, how much did your metal detector cost?" I say, "Oh, that cost me $4,000 or whatever." They go, "Whoa, that's," and they go, "How much gold have you found?" "Oh, maybe a couple of grams." They go, "How much is a gram?" "Oh, $70, $80 Australian or whatever." "Oh, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. What are you doing?" Right? If someone, I've actually had this conversation before, and I say, "Well, okay, how much money have you spent on your dirt bike?" They go, "Oh, $12,000. I say, "Okay, how much have you spent on buying new parts because you've dropped it and you broke the brake lever or the fender?"
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, I've done that a few times."
Mhm.
And I go, "Well, how much money has your motorbike got you earned yourself back for?" He's like, "Yeah, you got a point there."
Yeah. Well, see, at least, yeah, exactly. At least with this hobby, um, um, you heard me, I didn't stutter.
Yeah,
Even with this endeavor, there is a
Okay,
little
that's
payback.
better.
yeah,
There is a payback. There is a goal. There's a little bit of return, not necessarily the return you want, but if you work hard enough, it could happen.
yeah.
There's still
It's
people finding big chunks of gold. It's still out there.
Yeah,
Just haven't
yeah.
found the right spot yet.
yeah, and so
And
this,
that's the whole thing about prospecting. It's that dream, that looking for what could be out there.
yeah, and so I finished off talking to this guy. I said, "Look, can you really put a price on the joy and happiness you get out of either of these hobbies, right, or
Right.
these interests?" Yeah, like this person enjoys motorbike riding. He's put the money on the line to do it. That's fine. All the power to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's been times when the three of us gotten together to go prospecting somewhere, and we probably spent more times just sitting around having a good time and not trying to say,
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Like, you can't put a price on happiness. So
no, right. You hang out
yeah,
with the buddies on the creek, and
yeah,
just have a good time.
yeah.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, stay out of trouble. That's a good philosophy.
Ain't nothing better.
Yeah, and that's all we're chasing, isn't it? We just want to be happy and have a good time. I mean, some
And be
people are
left alone.
greedy and they just want to, be cutthroat and find their piles of gold and step over other people. But
let me say hi to Just Be Cool Metal Detecting. Hello. Face in the crowd.
oh, I'm sorry you have to listen to me ramble on.
Don't be sorry, Caleb.
Me ramble on. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Put it this way, you didn't have to tune in and listen tonight, but we're glad you did.
What was that?
I said, put it this way. You did. Yeah. He's still going. All right.
Okay.
Okay. put it this way, you didn't have to tune in tonight to listen to us, but we're glad you did.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, because whether we were
Right.
live or not in a Zoom call, we'd be chatting the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your King Prospector says, limited beam, just not mine.
Just yeah. But I think the the topic of prospecting, like what I was thinking about this the other day. What's the appeal to it to people that makes them want to do it? I mean, there's different facets of it, isn't there? Like there's obviously the money side of it. Like it's you know, people think you can just dig up a $100 bill for you know, hardly any effort.
Right.
So that attracts sort of the greed side of it. And also, but at the same time, not just greed, like there's the other facet of it can create a job for yourself where you're your own boss, sort of thing. You know, like
I think a lot of us, probably since we were young, have always been looking for that treasure. You know, I know growing up,
yeah,
I was into treasure hunting. Didn't do any, but I was into it. You know, and I think a lot of us are that way. It's kind of like human nature to be a treasure hunter. You know, aren't you curious about that? Aren't you curious about that big bag laying on the side of the road when you go by? Aren't you curious about what's in that purse that's been thrown out of the car or whatever?
Once you start prospecting, you never look at a creek the same way.
Oh, right.
yeah. Dead right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
they're
there's-
You're looking over, breaking it down. Look over there. Look.
I'll drive around town or out through the, you know, in the country, and there's dams in the paddock, and I'm like, look, there's like bits of quartz and rocks in that dam bank. I wonder if there's gold being dug up. You know, like
Oh, yeah,
you never look at a
absolutely.
dam
Oh.
the same. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you look like Dano said, you know, you go by a creek and you go, oh, look at that gravel bed, look at that bed, look at that bedrock, you know. Yeah, oh, sucks. But you can't always stop.
Yeah. Actually, I had a friend who he always stops and, you know, picks up, you know, D shackles that have fallen off of someone's car or trailer, you know, like the
Right.
O shackles. Yeah, he's got like a big collection of them. He's like sees one and goes, "Oh, I'm gonna pick that up," you know. he found
Absolutely.
he found a wallet one day on the side of the highway, and it had American money in it. And he's like, "How did that get there?" Like, you know, this is Australia. Like, hey, obviously, someone left his wallet on the roof of the car and drove off. And yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
been there, done that.
I'll tell you what. There's someone's jar of gold somewhere between Ballarat and Melbourne on the side of the highway, because they left it on the top of the car or on the bonnet, and he was driving, and then he heard a clunk, and he goes, "I know exactly what that was. That was me jar of gold."
Oh no! Oh
Yeah.
no!
He had about half an ounce in it, and he goes, "Yeah, there's no way I'm finding that." He just kept on driving.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So you never know, like, you know. I mean, I've
Yeah,
been
you do.
lucky.
You know it's gone.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to know a couple of like old timer prospectors who, well, they're not old timer. They're in their 80s now, but they did metal detecting for a living for decades. And one of them told me he found a 3-ounce nugget on top of a hill. And he goes, he detected, like he gridded it out like a paddock sort of thing. Like, so he went over it for 2 kilometers around the whole thing. And he goes, didn't find anything else at all.
Huh.
And he goes, how is this nugget on top of a hill where there's no other workings around it, no other signs of gold? How is it that that nugget got there? And he goes, he says he can only put it down to like the Aboriginals, the native Australians, because they didn't have any material value for gold or anything
Right.
material at all. So apparently, what the Aboriginals did, they placed these, gold nuggets they found in the creek, because they had Aboriginals have a big respect for the spiritual realm, their ancestors and all that.
For Mother Earth.
Yeah, Mother Earth. Yeah. So they put this big nugget on top of a hill as a sign of, they pay their respects or whatever. And so that's the only thing that this, friend of mine could put that down to, how that nugget got there, was the Aboriginals thousands of years ago or whatever. They put that there. And he goes, yeah. So it just goes to prove that, like on the subject of things being on
I
the
don't
side
know
of the
what that
road.
proves.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to find on.
Well, because you could think of it this way too. What if that was the only gold nugget in that mountain, and that mountain is finally worn down enough where that nugget's sitting there on top now?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Finally been exposed, but it's sitting on the top, so it's sitting on the top, so it can't roll down. It just sits there.
It just
Slowly wears away.
I mean, I guess on paper that would make sense. Yeah.
Well, hey, if we're gonna say an Aboriginal did it, then why can't I say it's just the mountain wore away and it finally exposed it?
Yeah. I mean, there's been reports of people finding nuggets down like rabbit holes in the kidney holes. Like, what a echidna is? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
like
I mean, there's been stories of people finding gold outside of like groundhog holes, where they dig down and pull out a bunch of gravel. There's nuggets sitting there with them. Those I'd like to find.
Yeah.
So
it's all interesting. To me, that's more interesting. But the history is more interesting than the gold itself, right? Because gold
you guys have some pretty wild history during your gold rush too, didn't you? I mean,
yeah.
I ran along the same lines as ours, I'm sure.
Yeah, California and that.
Yeah.
Alaska, yeah. The 1850s, 1840s and 50s, yeah. So yeah, like what I was trying to say was, like, the history is invaluable, right? Like gold, it's like a currency, like
Right.
You find it, you sell it for money, you spend it, you find a bit more, but it's always in circulation. But
Sure.
the history, the knowledge, if that's still preserved, and these old timers, they pass away, that history's sort of going forever, isn't it? Like,
It is. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Until somebody decides to erase it.
yeah, well, yeah,
So, yeah.
Illuminati.
So, Ohio Relic Hunter wants to know, what is your most exciting animal encounter? Oh, I put it up.
Animal encounter. Oh, yeah.
You said exciting. You said
exciting.
exciting.
Exciting. Okay.
Which I imagine is different than dangerous or fun, or I don't know, maybe fun, but dangerous. I don't know. Exciting.
I have to say it in an exciting way, do I? Like, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm actually more scared of bears over in America than the animals over here, right? Like,
Well, our bears are big, but your animals are like small and dangerous. They sneak up on you.
Now, what I'm saying is, I'm more scared of a grizzly bear or a lion than, say, a snake. Or
Well, sure. Who wouldn't be?
sharks.
Like I said, Those you can see, the snake you can't see. And it's just as deadly.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, probably it's not really that. I don't actually have that many animal encounters, but
All right.
one that I think of is in the early detecting days. I got this. Actually, this is funny. I got this. I was using my Xterra machine, and I got this bit of a target, right? And it was on this real thick mossy layer on top of the ground, like real thick, and probably about, I don't know, yeah, good couple of inches, and there's leaf litter around, and I was getting this signal underneath it, so I got my pick, and I kid you not, I scraped the moss out, and then underneath it was this big blue tongue lizard, like probably about a foot long, and I almost hit him. Like they're harmless lizards. They only eat like frogs and stuff. And yeah, it was just surprised me because I literally got a signal from a lizard. And I went to dig it, and it was underneath the moss. And I just scraped the moss. I'm like, oh well, that's been a signal. He sort of took off, and then I waved me wand over it, and the signal's gone. So I'm like, this lizard giving off a signal. It was yeah.
They're asking, well, because we hear this story about these creatures in Australia called drop dares. What's your story about the drop dares?
I reckon always detect with the loudspeaker. You got to listen out for their call, their kind of grunting noise. That's when you know they got your eyes on you.
Okay, and then I got another question here too from I think from Terry Curry. Wants to know if you were going to buy a new detector today, what would you get?
Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks for that question, Terry. Good to have you on. That's not a simple answer, not a simple question to answer.
Well, we've already discussed that a while
yeah,
ago.
we sort of have, haven't we? Yeah. I would say I would answer that. Well, firstly, what are you trying to chase, Terry? Are you trying to chase coins and relics, or are you going the more gold prospecting, nuggets side of things? That's the first question you should be answering or asking yourself, because you can't
if
find
you were
a
looking to buy a new detector, what would you be looking for? You.
Yeah. Oh, me? Oh,
You.
oh okay. Oh, he's asking me. Yeah. I've sort of answered that before, but yeah, because in my area there's not a whole lot of big gold left, so I want to focus on that smaller gold. So
Right.
I want to look at a machine that's great for small gold. So I'm not being biased here at all. I mean, I've never used a Garrett detector before. I've always been a Mind Lab person. I'm not saying Garrett's are bad or any other brands, but I'll just probably stick with me SDC 2300 for smaller gold.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Australia we have very high mineralized ground as well. I do have a gold monster as well, which is great on minuscule gold. It's great if you can get into mullet heaps with very little mineralization, a gold monster. There are areas like that around here. Gold monster's great for them, but if you're using it, you get into mineralization, and the VLF machines are just that's their downfall. So for me, I'd stick with the SDC. If I had the coin, I'm interested in getting the GP X6000. I've been hearing good reports on them. Yeah, so that's the way I'd go.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, but if you're asking that for yourself, Terry, yeah, my advice is, do you want coins or do you want gold?
Right.
And you can't really get the best of both worlds out of one machine. There are, the Equinox has a like a gold mode on them on the 800, but again, it's a VLF machine as well. Don't get me wrong, they can find gold. There are people around here who do find gold nuggets with them, but yeah. And at the same time, you got to think, well, how often are you going to go? How serious are you going to take this hobby as well, isn't it? If you're only going to go out once a month, can you really warrant yourself spending $10,000 on a GPZ 7000? So. Yeah, it's not a simple answer, but I hope that points in the right direction. Yeah, because I hate for you to go out and go spend all this money and it doesn't do what you wanted. So,
right.
Yeah.
So Dirt Diggers UK question: are pulse induction pinpointers better for you guys to use when seeking small gold?
Oh yeah.
So when you say that too.
No, I can answer that if you want.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. Look, I only use a pinpointer for coin hunting, mainly because pinpointers aren't very good at all at reading on, sub-gram nuggets, which is mainly the stuff I find. So I'm talking 0.1, 0.2 size grams of a nugget. I think even birdshot nuggets, birdshot nuggets, birdshot lead bullets, a pinpointer struggles to pick that up with it right on the tip of it. So
that's probably why you don't see. That's probably why you don't see a lot of people that are strictly looking for gold nuggets using a pinpointer. They just use your scoop and do it that way.
You put it in your
Find the
scoop
nugget that way.
And then do your process of elimination over your coil. You put it in your hand and So that's what I only use a pinpointer for that. But when pulse induction pinpointers, I don't know a lot about the technology in a pinpointer, but I'd imagine being pulse induction, it would be a lot better naturally for being if you were using it in mineralized ground. So,
well, I know around here, relic hunters stuff, they're great to help you pinpoint the target. I've never tried using one. I did take one, but I don't remember if I used it or not when I went to California.
Yeah, so
definitely use them around here.
Yeah. If you're using a detector with a huge coil, like a big coil, and you're chasing those larger, deeper nuggets, I took a mate out. He used what we call a bin lid coil. A huge coil, like it looks like a bin lid. And he dug a hole probably 2 foot deep, right? And he couldn't for the life of him pinpoint this target. He's like, oh, it's still there. So I went over there with my SDC because it's got a little coil, and I'm like, there's nothing inside the hole, man. Are you sure? There's still a target? He's like, yeah, look. And then I go, all right, well, it must be out of the hole, obviously. And then I run my coil over next to the hole, just to the lip of the hole, and there's a railway spike, like an old nail. It's just like it just, but to him, it's a large coil. They're really hard to pinpoint, and to him it sounded like it was still in the hole, you know. But if he did have a pinpointer on him, you know, he could have got in there and been like, all right, well, it's in the side of the hole or it's on the lip, or, you know. So pinpointers are great for in that situation because
Yeah, everybody
you don't want to
in
be.
the chat, everybody in the
Yeah.
chat room saying the pinpointers are not good for gold. They just Karen or Mr. Lodak, so you can take a 1 gram nugget on a carrot. It'll take a 1 gram nugget for a carrot to pick it up, and that's if it's touching it.
Yeah. So they're not great for gold unless they're, you know, like a slug, you know, like. And like I said, if you detect them for those bigger nuggets and you're digging deep holes, they can come in handy to.
But he didn't say something like a Garrett carrot or something. He said a pulse induction pinpointer. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the one that Bennett uses for sniping.
What kind does he have?
Yeah.
He has a pulse induction. It has a transferable tip where it could be a small coil or a pinpointer tip.
No.
Like
Oh,
the
you know, I've seen that.
Nacro Macro, or how do you say that? Nacro Macro?
Don't know.
Well, I have a Nacro pinpointer and it's great, but it's not a pulse induction.
Yeah. So I've got the pinpointer I have. It's a Mind Lab. It's an older Mind Lab, but you can turn the sensitivity up and down. Because sometimes you get, you know, EMI, electric magnetic interference from the sky, so that comes in handy sometimes. But yeah, I can't vouch for any other brands. So yeah, sorry if that doesn't answer your question, Dirt Diggers UK. So
No, they said they were satisfied a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just let you ramble on.
All right, yeah. I like to flesh things out, you know.
It says sub-gram nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I tested it. I tested it on sub-gram nuggets, and it's just, you know, I wouldn't even pick up a birdshot pellet, which is about 1/4 of a gram, you know, which
Right.
I'm rarely finding anything bigger than that. So, like I said, you got a scoop. It's just easy to, yeah. The only real way I would find a pinpointer to be of use to you in a gold nugget situation is if you got a big hole that you've dug and you use it on the side of the hole, you're trying to pinpoint it, you know, because you don't want to be digging any more than you have to on those big holes, do you? Yeah.
Boy, do I know about that one.
Yeah. Because I know of guys who have dug a meter down and they found a tin, you know, an old tin in the side of the hole. So they've dug deeper than they had to. So, yeah. So, yeah, no, I'll definitely use a pinpointer doing coins and relics, though, because you dig your plug and you go, is it still in the hole or is it in the plug? Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Michael Boyles. Is he in the chat room? What's his handle?
Busy Bee, he left.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm waiting on some mats from Dave.
Oh, okay. Oh, we can let him know. I could text him and let him know.
Just tell him that all I had was some really crappy ones that I didn't want to send out.
Okay.
Like, you know, use cards.
Okay.
And they're sending me some more.
Well, I know Dave's sending us stuff for Flash Bash too.
Yeah,
so.
no, this is for the vets.
Oh, okay. I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
All right.
Have you guys heard of the what do they call it? It's a pinpointer, a gold falcon. Is it a MD?
The Falcon 2020, whatever. That's MD.
Yeah. And that's like a pinpointer, and that's I've got one of them actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I MD, yeah, the MD20.
MD20, yeah.
I looked at those when I first started prospecting.
They've been around for decades. I
Yeah.
used to have one.
Yeah, I find them to be pretty finicky too, Terry.
Well, that copper ring that you adjust for the sensitivity and stuff, that can it can find small gold, but I really didn't like it. It might be a better machine now. That was like 93 when I owned one.
Yeah. I used to go down mine shafts with it, pinpointing the side of the ore veins. If I get a little signal, I'd chip it out with a pick into a bucket.
Right.
Yeah. So that's been my experience with the Falcon, the MD20. Yeah.
So
But
you
yeah,
don't use yours? You don't use yours at all anymore, or what?
Nah, I haven't used that. I haven't touched that in years. I should probably sell it and move it along, though. I think maybe, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'll just one of those prospecting instruments you acquire over the years, and
right, collects
for a
dust
while,
in
then
the
you find-
shed or garage.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really hard to go back to something that's not as good as what you got now.
yeah, that is, yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe
So-
pass it on to somebody who needs one for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Caleb, I have pictures of 2 more nuggets of yours.
Oh, do you?
Why don't we show those real quick since we're already in overtime? And
how long have we been chatting for, Ed?
2 hours now plus.
Oh,
Time flies
Oh,
when you're having fun.
yeah. Well, I'm sure I hope I've been of some help to someone. So
Me Miner says, I had a Falcon years ago. I was glad when it broke.
Yeah, it was kind of a pain. It was kind of a pain, but different people,
Well,
different tools. Some like them, some don't.
Right, and then you have to remember too, when that technology came out, how long ago it was, like 20 years or more?
No,
I don't
easy. I've lived in Ohio for 20, and I had it probably. My youngest is 30, and
Well, there you go. Yeah,
right.
It's old technology. Does it have tubes or resistors? That's I got resistors. Not
It's
that
like-
old.
someone was telling me when White's went under, they were like, they said, I'm finally glad that White's finally died. Because they just couldn't learn to use their detectors. So
White's wasn't a bad detector at all.
yeah.
Depends what you wanted, and learning your tool.
Learning your
Exactly,
tool.
yeah. He wasn't very patient either, this guy, so that's
Well, patience is the big thing,
yeah.
Well, let's show these last 2 pictures. This one you're holding in your hand, I showed it earlier. To me and several others, it looks like a frog.
Right. The frog nugget.
The frog nugget. Yeah, that hasn't come up yet.
We'll get there. Give it a time.
It'll
You're in
get there,
Australia.
There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Go around the world.
Yep.
The
So I
internet
actually,
is not instant.
what's that?
Frog.
It
Oh,
does.
yeah. It looks like a frog, doesn't it? The old frog.
That's what's so cool about gold. It just it has so many different characteristics. Oh boy, here we go. Ohio Relic Hunter. Jesse, I haven't read this yet. I'm gonna read it right now. Jesse has 2 type detectors so old he has to ground them out with a screwdriver to safely charge the battery.
Is that what those are?
Yeah. You didn't know that's what I was using them for, huh?
No.
All right, there's that one. Where'd you find that?
Where'd I find it?
Well, in the ground, we all know that.
Yeah, and
Oh no, what's the coordinates? I want the exact location.
Yeah.
It was
I'll give
sitting
you.
on a golden lily pad.
Just
Yeah.
laying on the ground.
You want the coordinates? I'll give them to you. You got a pen and paper? Right, here we go. It's that way.
That way.
It could
Right.
be this way.
North.
It could be that way.
Yeah,
Or that way.
It's
that
over on No Tell 'em Gulch.
Yeah.
Yeah, David says GPS, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So this one here, this is probably my favorite nugget. It's
Oh, that is cool.
yeah.
That's
It looks
got-
like a
look at
teddy
that.
bear holding a guitar.
Ah, it does, doesn't it?
really
kind
does.
of, yeah.
There's the guitar.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way it looks as it coming out of the ground.
Wow.
Is that 2 pieces? Is it-
His head's a bit wobbly.
Oh, it's a bit wobbly.
It is, yeah, it is connected. Yeah,
Okay.
only just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just jamming to the music.
he's just jamming. Yeah,
Knocking
yeah.
his head off.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
jamming to
So
the
that
music.
one was
That's all.
I found that one with the SDC. It was about a couple of inches under the ground,
Wow.
and it was in a well smashed gully too. So I was
That's
glad
awesome
to find-
looking. That's an awesome nugget.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I want it turned into a pendant for the wife or something, you know, like a necklace or
Oh, heck yeah.
yeah,
That'd
maybe
be
for
nice.
our like our anniversary or something. Yeah,
Elvis Bear.
yeah.
I
The
tell you,
Elvis Bear. Yeah, I like
a
that.
whole lot of shaking going on.
Yeah. There's another story to that one too, actually. That was
cool.
yeah, I was showing that nugget off to my friend in my backyard, and I've got a lot of like junk in the backyard, like metal junk, and me mate, he dropped it in the long grass, and we couldn't find it. Of course, I couldn't use me SDC because I was just pinging off of all the other metal, you know, in the backyard. So I actually fired up my Equinox to see if I can find anything, and that was reading. I think it was like 14. I think on the Equinox, and yeah, I like scooped it up, and fair enough. But sure enough, yeah, there it is. I found it with the Equinox in my backyard.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, in amongst all the other, you know, rubbish I got. So
Right.
yeah, so I guess that's proof the Equinox or a, you know, a coin machine can find gold nuggets too.
We'll find it, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, I don't know about you, but while I was back here on mute everywhere, so all of you wouldn't hear me coughing, as you can tell, I'm hoarse and been stuffed up. But thanks for joining us tonight, Caleb.
oh, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, it's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I can share any experiences or information along, pass it along. Yeah.
Well,
So what's your YouTube channel name?
Yeah, so Ful-O-Gold. So FUL-O is my my YouTube channel.
yeah, there's a link down in the description below. If Mr. Lodak or another moderator will throw it out in the chat, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for that, Mr. Moderator.
We have the world's greatest moderator right here in our house, right here.
Well, you bet.
Hey, Barb, how are you doing, Barb's Place? You might be wondering why I have this GPA Golden Treasure show up here.
Oh yeah.
May 14th and 15th, it's going to be at the Ohio State Fairgrounds. There'll be people from all over this part of the country there. Hope to see you there. ToledoJess, Dano, and I, along with probably Rose, I believe. We'll be walking around, floating around, and visiting and helping out how we can. This year, we're not going to be in the panning booth. So much. At least on the inside. But if you see us there, reach out to us, grab us, say hello, and make sure to let us know what your YouTube name is, because we might go. Who are you? Oh, Ed, how you doing? Oh, Jesse, good to see you. It's been so long.
Huh?
No.
What? Who are you?
Not to be rude or nothing. And remember, Flash Bash is now up for grabs and stuff. You could head over to my website, to flashinyourpan.com, and head towards the What's New section.
Yeah, one more thing about the gold show, Ed.
What?
Anybody here, local Ohio area, who would like to be a vendor, and they're looking for not just gold vendors,
Right.
Some
Any vendor, food
vendors, crafters,
speakers,
gold related, anything. What was that, Daniel?
Speakers, people to speak.
Yeah, you wanna do a lecture?
Because they asked
they're
who's actually speaking.
belly teching.
Good idea.
Yeah, just let one of us know, and we'll get you in contact with Kevin Hoagland and get you set up if that's something you want to do.
Ohio Relic Hunter, want to talk about relic hunting? It is a gold and treasure show.
Absolutely.
We're asking for people to stand up and give speeches about what they do.
Right.
Absolutely.
Be a fun time.
Sure. Why not, Bill? Set up you have to talk
Dude, if
to
that's what you do.
GPA, and I'm sure they'd be happy to sell you a booth where you could sell your needlepoint and quilting.
Especially if you make it gold related.
Yeah, definitely.
Treasure hunting related.
You can quilt some metal detector covers.
Right.
Maybe.
Definitely. Good.
That's my 2 cents. Yeah.
quilts.
Yeah, bust them out right there, or snuffer bottle holders, or
Oh, heck yeah.
there you go, Bill. You're in there, in like Flynn. But we'll be there May 14th and 15th, Ohio State Fairgrounds and Expo Center.
Yeah, there you go, Dano. Dano Ball's booth. Hey, if they got room
You're
for you,
muted,
do it,
Dano.
sure.
Bet you can't eat just one.
Right. Don't know anyone who can, but
God, what a booth. Everybody walk in and see the big sign up there like that.
Dano Balls.
Come taste Dano's balls.
You'll be sampling them all out all day.
Right.
All right, I think it's time for us to go.
Almost.
It's time to go on Daniel's balls.
But if you're interested in this year's Flash Bash, we still have like 19 spots available. So head over to flashinyourpan.com and go to What's New. you could see, you'll see this, and right here you could pick what you want here and send it, or send your RSVP to my PayPal, and just note that it's for Flash Bash 2022. Um, Not guarantee you'll find a lot of gold, but I guarantee you'll have a good time, right, guys?
It'll be a golden time.
That it will be. That it will be. Heck of a good time. Heck of a good time. What else? What'd you say, Ruby?
We'll save it for after the show, Ed.
All right, everybody. Next week is Open Line Tuesday, where you could be our victim, our guest. And we could get up here and talk, and depending how many that's interested, though, it's pretty much first come, first serve. If we have people stacking up, we'll run you through, give you 10, 15 minutes or so, depending how well it goes, and go from there. But Open Line Tuesday is always a good time. Other than that, anything, Caleb, for the Aussies?
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Hopefully one day you can come down over to Oz and experience it for yourself.
I'd love
One
to.
day.
I might
Yeah.
end up throwing away my passport, though. So, but
Yeah, it's a big world out there.
That's definitely in my hypothetical answer.
right.
But see, I still have a lot. I still have more to see here in this country. So
That's true. We have a beautiful country here, Caleb, and I still have barely touched the tip of the iceberg.
That's it. It's the adventure. It's a
Yep.
journey. So
That it
that's
is.
right.
That it is.
yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing. It's always a great show, especially when you get, other people's inputs, and we just bounce off each other, and it's good that we can record it on YouTube, and
Right.
we got that. We
What's
make
really
our own
cool,
history.
Yeah, what's really cool about doing the show too is every week we learn something, a little something new.
Yeah.
Every week we learn something new every week.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a big thing, sometimes it's a little thing, but we learn something. And that's what's important.
What I love about the show is you guys are all super friendly, and like with all the rubbish going on in the world, all the negativity, like it's great to come together and have a laugh and
yeah, absolutely.
But also,
absolutely.
if just to be a part of that can contribute some positivity onto someone else, it's
right.
thumbs up for me. So
anytime as a community we show positive light on what we do and everything, it only makes it better for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all I ask of you guys. Just keep going and
right. We are all ambassadors of our lifestyle hobby, as some say, but it is what it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you all have an absolutely fabulous week to come and a great weekend. If you're able to get out there, enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it well and safe. Anything else, Jesse, Dano?
Nope.
I think we got it. Gold show and all.
Thank you, Lisa. Say hi to Steve and get a hold of me, please. Everybody, until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what Mr. Ed the horse is gonna say.
Wilbur. Maybe one day too. We'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Until next time. Find the right credits.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. God bless.
Thank
See
you,
ya.
Mr. Lonak. Great
Yes,
job.
Look who
definitely.
just showed up, Heavy Meadow. He finally wanders in.
Oh, about time. Good night, Robert. See ya at Flashback.
And my flesh needs tan. Good night. See ya. Good night.
Good night, Mark.
5,
Man of 1,000 nicks.
2, 1. Gold Pro Unlimited. Take it easy.
BC Trails. Mountaineer Mike. Thank you.
All you lurkers out there, good night. Have a good evening. Stay safe out there.
Definitely.